Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a national team, a whole nation's football dreams, really hanging by a thread. They need, well, not just a perfect run of their own games, but also a bit of magic from elsewhere across the continent. That's precisely where we find Kenya's Harambee Stars today. Welcome. We're doing a deep dive into Kenya's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification journey. And our mission today is pretty clear. We want to cut through the noise, really look at the group standings, the past results, and sort of decode the complex qualification math just to truly grasp what's at stake for Kenya, especially because there's a massive match kicking off today. It really feels like a moment of truth. It's a fascinating story unfolding right now.
It really is. Yeah. And what's, particularly insightful about this stage of the CCAF qualifiers, that's the Confederation Africaine de Football, is that it's so much more than just a series of matches. It really becomes a kind of continental chess match. For any African nation getting to the World Cup, it demands not just talent, but the strategic consistency. It tests every single part of a team's resilience. The way it's structured, the qualification itself, it forces teams to balance their ambition with, frankly, some brutal mathematical realities. Yeah. Often way beyond just their own group, it sets a uniquely high bar.
A continental chess match. I like that. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And to understand Kenya's position on that board, we need to quickly set it up. So the CFF qualification structure, it's designed to find 9 direct qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup. Those are simply the 9 group winners. Straightforward enough. But then, and this is crucial now for Kenya, there's that secondary route, a kind of safety net for some, maybe, but a real gauntlet for others. It's a playoff spot reserved for the 4 best runners-up across all 9 groups, and that playoff decides who gets to fight for one single interconfederation playoff spot. So even if a team doesn't top their group, there's still a lifeline, but it's a much more precarious one, isn't it?
Exactly, it's precarious.
And Kenya finds itself in Group F, which is, it looks like a genuinely challenging pool on paper. The teams they're battling are Côte d'Ivoire, real heavyweights, Gabon, Burundi, Kenya themselves, Gambia, and Seychelles.
Yeah, and a key implication of this dual path system, it isn't just the added pressure, though that's huge. It fundamentally changes how a team has to think tactically. For a side like Kenya, right now, it means every minute, even in a game they might not win, or what seems like a dead rubber, it can still impact their standing compared to teams in other groups. Yeah. It forces this level of strategic consistency that older formats didn't really demand. You're not just playing your group anymore. You're constantly measured against second-place teams across the whole continent. Every single point could be the difference for that playoff dream.
Okay, so with that complex roadmap laid out, let's zero in on where Kenya actually stands right now in this continental battle. Their current position in Group F, well, it tells a pretty stark story. As of September 3rd, 2025, the table reads like this. Gabon leading, 18 points, but they've played 7 games. Right behind them, Côte d'Ivoire, 16 points from just 6 games played. Then there's Burundi, 10 points, also from 6 games. And then you find Kenya, 4th place, 6 points from 6 games. Gambia's 5th, 4 points from 6 games. And Seychelles are at the bottom, 0 points from 7 played. Now, I'm looking at this table, and I see that Z's marker next to Kenya's name. For anyone maybe less familiar, what does that actually signify? Does that mean the direct World Cup dream is completely over?
Yes. It's a definitive yes to that, unfortunately. That Z's marker confirms it. Kenya cannot top the group. Their direct path to the World Cup, that door's closed for this cycle. However, and this is where everything shifts now, they could still reach that second round CCAF playoff, but only if they manage to finish among the continent's 4 best runners-up.
Okay, so hope, but a different kind of hope.
A different kind, yes. And looking at the bigger picture, their current points tally, just 6 points from 6 games, makes this an incredibly steep uphill battle for that playoff spot. They're already at a significant disadvantage compared to potential second-place teams in other groups. Some of those teams are already, in the mid-teens for points, maybe with games still in hand. So this isn't just about Kenya winning their remaining matches. It's about winning them, probably convincingly, and hoping a lot of other results across Africa go their way.
Right, it's out of their hands in some ways. Okay, so it's against this backdrop, these calculated risks and maybe some past regrets, that we turn our full attention to today's really make-or-break fixture. It is Kenya versus Gambia. It's happening today, Friday, September 5th, 2025. The venue, the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani in Nairobi. Kickoff is set for 4:00 p.m. East Africa time. And for those of you listening in Kenya, KBC is listed as the domestic broadcaster. FIFA Plus streaming has also been mentioned, so definitely check your local listings for how to watch. And there's some history here we need to mention. The reverse fixture, back on March 20th, 2025, it was Gambia 3-3 Kenya, an absolute roller coaster, a wild draw where Kenya actually laid on, tasted victory, only to have it sort of snatched away right at the end. It feels almost symbolic of their campaign, doesn't it? Moments of promise, then costly slips.
Absolutely symbolic, and that's precisely why this home game today carries so much extra weight. Dropping those points in the reverse fixture, especially having held the lead, it just amplifies the pressure cooker for today. Playing at home at Kasarani, they absolutely must leverage every single bit of that home advantage. They need to create an atmosphere that translates into control, into goals. That draw, and really their whole campaign so far, means there's just no margin for error left right from the first whistle today.
Yeah, zero margin. And looking back quickly at Kenya's campaign overall, it really has been a mixed bag, which explains their current spot. They kicked off with a tough 2-1 loss away to Gabon. That was back in November 2023. But just a few days later, they bounced back big time. A huge 5-0 win away to Seychelles, so showing what they can do. Then things got tighter. June 2024, a 1-1 draw at home against Burundi, followed by a really resilient, impressive 0-0 draw against Côte d'Ivoire. And that's a key result, maybe, because the Ivorians still haven't conceded a single goal in this entire group. That's quite something.
Incredible defensive record.
Yeah. Then came that wild 3-3 away draw against Gambia in March this year. And most recently, just a few days after that draw, a disappointing 0-2 loss away to Burundi. It's also worth noting, Kenya is now led by Benny McCarthy. He was only appointed back on March 3rd, 2025. So he's navigating this high-stakes endgame relatively new in the job.
And examining those results, those dropped points, particularly the home draw against Burundi, and then conceding late against Gambia away, they were just incredibly costly, weren't they? They stripped Kenya of points that would have put them in a much healthier position right now. And this really highlights a challenge for Benny McCarthy, still quite early in his tenure. Can he instill that discipline, that winning mentality needed to turn these tight games, these draws, into wins? What do you think? How much impact can he realistically have short term?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Realistically, his immediate impact might be more about maybe tactical tweaks, boosting morale, finding that belief, rather than some complete system overhaul. He needs an instant spark. Which brings us squarely to Kenya's remaining 4 matches in Group F. It all starts with today's crucial game against Gambia at home. After today, they face Seychelles, also at home. That's on September 9th. So 2 home games back-to-back. Then October looks really brutal. October 6th, it's Burundi away, likely at a neutral venue, we understand. And then the final match day, October 13th, a massive trip away to face Côte d'Ivoire. So given all that, this tough run-in, what does this actually mean for their qualification chances now?
Well, like we said, the direct spot, that's gone. Unequivocally off the table. Let's do the math quickly. Kenya has 6 points now. 4 games left, maximum 12 points available. That means their ceiling is 18 points. Gabon already has 18 points with games still to play. Côte d'Ivoire has 16 points with 4 games left. They'll almost certainly surpass 18. So first place is impossible.
Okay, clear enough.
Right. Now, the playoff route. It is still mathematically alive, but honestly, it is a real long shot. It requires, perfection from Kenya and quite a bit of help from elsewhere. Condition number 1. Kenya must win all 4 remaining matches. No draws, no losses. That gets them to 18 points. That means beating Gambia today, Seychelles, Burundi away, and the mighty Côte d'Ivoire away.
A huge ask.
Huge. Condition 2, they must finish second in Group F. That means somehow overhauling either Côte d'Ivoire or Gabon, which, given the points difference in games left, seems unlikely unless one of them completely collapses. And then condition 3, and this is perhaps the toughest bit, the continental comparison. Even if they achieve a miracle, get 12 points, somehow finish second, Kenya still has to rank among the 4 best runners-up across all 9 CCAF groups. And when you look across the continent, many current second-place teams are already sitting on 13, 14, 15 points, often with games in hand. So 18 points, even if Kenya gets there, might simply not be enough to be one of the top 4 runners-up.
Wow, so the layers of difficulty just keep adding up.
They really do.
So the bottom line, then, is stark. Direct qualification, gone. Playoff path. A very, very long shot, but crucially not mathematically dead yet.
Exactly. Not quite dead yet. And that just puts immense, almost unbearable pressure on these next 2 home games. Anything less than 6 points from these 2 matches, Gambia today, Seychelles on Tuesday, would pretty much extinguish even that faint playoff dream. They need a perfect September just to keep October relevant. And then they'd face that must-win double away to Burundi and Côte d'Ivoire. It's an incredibly high bar, especially ending against the Ivorians who, as you said, haven't conceded a single goal. It's just a daunting task that begins right now, today.
It really is. Okay, so for those of you tuning in, watching today's Kenya versus Gambia match, what are the crucial things you should be looking out for? What should be top of mind for a fan or even just a neutral observer tracking this high-stakes game?
Yeah, good question. For Kenya's performance today, I'd focus on 3 critical areas. First, they absolutely need to start fast at home. Kasarani has to be a fortress this week. They need to impose themselves, create that intimidating atmosphere, and crucially, translate it into early control, maybe an early goal. Remember, those dropped points at home earlier in the campaign? That's exactly why the margin for error is 0 now.
Got it. Start fast. What else?
Second, keep a really close eye on their key men. Michael Olunga, obviously. He's Kenya's leading scorer in this campaign. He needs to deliver. But also watch the service to him. How are they getting the ball wide? What's the quality of their set pieces? In these tight, high-pressure games, set pieces often make the difference, don't they? They can unlock stubborn defenses.
True. Set pieces could be vital.
Yeah.
And the third thing.
And finally, game state discipline. Think back to that 3-3 draw in Gambia. It featured wild swings, late goals. Kenya needs to manage the transitions meticulously. Gambia has pace, players like Musa Barrow, who are incredibly dangerous on the break. So when Kenya attacks, they need to be organized defensively immediately after losing the ball. Avoid getting caught out. Avoid letting the game slip away through lapses in concentration. Discipline is key.
Right. Managing the moment. I'll certainly be watching for that fast start and how Olunga links up. The pressure, yeah, it's immense, not just on the players, but the whole tactical setup for McCarthy. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, the stakes for Kenya's Harambee Stars, well, they couldn't be higher, today and in the coming weeks. While that direct path to the World Cup dream is closed, that tantalizing, okay, albeit very narrow, window for the playoff route does remain open. These next 2 home games, starting right now with Gambia, are absolutely make or break. Every moment carries the weight of a nation's World Cup hopes.
It does. And, if we just pull back for a second, consider the human element in this bigger picture. What does it really mean? For a team, for its fans, to chase a dream that needs not just their own perfection, but also relies on results falling their way across an entire continent. It's a profound test of spirit, isn't it? It really transcends the 90 minutes. It becomes this raw story of hope, of resilience against, let's face it, pretty long odds. It's about keeping that flame alive somehow, finding inspiration, even when the ultimate goal seems so distant. It's quite a compelling narrative.
A true test of spirit and national will indeed. A perfect way to put it. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Kenya's World Cup hopes. We really encourage you to follow the Harambee Stars' journey, witness this incredible test of determination for yourself, and we'll be here to unpack it all for you as it continues to unfold.